Lambertville High School, nestled on a mountain in New Jersey, was built in 1854 and quickly became a local landmark. However, tragedy struck twice. The school was destroyed by fire in 1924 and again in 1992, leading to its permanent closure. Despite its abandonment, the school remains infamous for the haunting of Billy Sisu, a star football player who died during a heated game against their rivals from New Hope, PA. Billy's death was shrouded in mystery, with some believing it was an accident and others suspecting foul play. His spirit, unable to find peace, began to appear to students, challenging them to ghostly football games. Even after the school's closure, Billy's presence lingered, his ghost roaming the deserted halls. In 2005, a group of friends, curious about the legends, decided to spend the night in the ruins of Lambertville High. They brought flashlights, cameras, and a Ouija board, hoping to make contact with Billy. As they explored the gymnasium, they felt a sudden chill and heard the faint sounds of a football game. Cheers, footsteps, and the thud of a ball, though the gym was empty. Mark, a former high school quarterback, felt a tap on his shoulder and turned to see a ghostly figure in a vintage football uniform. "Play with me," the apparition whispered. Despite his fear, Mark agreed, and an old football became solid in Billy's hands. They played a brief, eerie game, with Mark guided by an unseen force. As Billy scored a touchdown, he smiled sadly and whispered, "Thank you," before fading away. The friends left at dawn, forever changed by their encounter. They shared their story, adding to the legend of Billy Sisu. To this day, Lambertville High School stands abandoned, but those who dare to visit at night still hear the faint sounds of a spectral football game, a reminder of the ghostly athlete who haunts its halls. Hollywood High School, established in 1904, is renowned not just for its academic excellence, but also for its haunted reputation. At least 4 spirits are said to roam its halls, with the most infamous being Toby, a student who was shot dead in the main hall, and a woman who hanged herself in the same place. Witnesses often report unexplained rattling windows and eerie noises emanating from the hall. One Halloween night, a group of curious students, eager to uncover the truth, sneaked into the school. They headed straight for the main hall, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls. As they set up their equipment, the temperature dropped noticeably, and the side windows began to rattle violently despite the still night. Determined to make contact, they turned on a spirit box. "Is anyone here with us?" Lisa, the group's leader, asked. The device crackled to life, and a distorted voice replied, "Toby." Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared at the far end of the hall. It was Toby, his face pale and eyes hollow. As they watched in stunned silence, another figure materialized beside him, a woman in a long, flowing dress, her neck marked by the rope that had ended her life. "Help us," she whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. The students followed her gaze to a dusty, locked chest in the corner of the hall. They pried it open and found old letters and personal belongings of Toby and the woman, revealing their tragic stories and secrets. As they laid out the items, the air grew warmer, and a sense of peace settled over the hall. The spirits of Toby and the woman looked at each other one last time before slowly fading away, their expressions finally peaceful. Feeling a mix of relief and curiosity, the students decided to explore further. In a forgotten storage room, they discovered a hidden staircase leading to a basement that none of them had known existed. The air was thick with dust, and cobwebs draped the walls. Descending the creaky stairs, they found themselves in a dimly lit basement filled with old, decrepit desks and chairs. In the center of the room was an old chalkboard covered in cryptic symbols and messages. As they examined the room, they noticed a large ornate mirror covered by a heavy cloth. Removing the cloth, they were shocked to see the mirror reflecting not just their own images, but also the faint outlines of past students, their eyes pleading for help. Among them, Toby and the woman stood out, looking more desperate than ever. One of the students, Mark, touched the mirror, and a chilling sensation ran through his body. Suddenly, the spirits began to whisper, their voices blending into an urgent plea. "Free us," they said in unison. Determined to help, the students realized that the spirits were bound to the school by the tragic events that had occurred there. They decided to perform a cleansing ritual they found in one of the old letters, hoping to release the spirits once and for all. Gathering the necessary items, candles, salt, and sage, they formed a circle around the mirror. As they recited the ritual's incantations, the room grew colder, and the spirits became more visible, their forms flickering in and out of existence. Just as they completed the ritual, a powerful gust of wind swept through the basement, extinguishing the candles. The mirror shattered, and the spirits let out a collective sigh of relief before vanishing into the ether. The next day, the students shared their harrowing experience with the school administration. The hidden basement was sealed off, and a small memorial was set up in the main hall to honor Toby, the woman, and the other spirits. Though the paranormal activity lessened on quiet nights, the windows still occasionally rattle, and faint whispers can be heard, a haunting reminder of the spirits that once roamed Hollywood High School. Those who dare to visit the hall after dark do so with a sense of reverence, knowing they are in a place touched by both tragedy and a hauntingly beautiful resolution. In the quiet suburbs of a Texas city, there stood El Paso High School, a magnificent structure known for its Greco-Roman architecture, marble halls, and wood-finished classrooms. Its nickname, the Lady on the Hill, spoke to its grandeur and the natural beauty surrounding it. However, beyond its prestige and historical significance, El Paso High School was also infamous for being haunted. The most chilling story associated with the school took place in 1985. It was the year end, and as usual, the graduating class gathered for a group photo on the steps of the school's entrance. After the photo was developed, students were shocked to see the image of a young woman in a white dress among them. No one recognized her, and upon closer inspection, she seemed slightly transparent, her eyes empty and hollow. This mysterious figure was believed to be the ghost of a student who had died many years earlier. When they finally managed to open it, they found dusty desks and books, as if the room had been suddenly abandoned. Rumors spread that the classroom had been used to store bodies during the pandemic and that it was sealed due to the hauntings. Another frequent tale was about the misty figure of a woman in a blue dress, seen wandering the hallways at night. Students reported hearing the sound of footsteps and whispers when no one else was around. In the gymnasium, the sound of basketballs bouncing and games being played could often be heard late at night, despite the gym being empty. One night, a group of curious students decided to spend the night in the school to see if they could witness any supernatural events for themselves. Armed with flashlights and recording equipment, they entered the school after dark. As they walked through the silent halls, they felt an eerie presence around them. The temperature dropped suddenly, and they could see their breath in the air. In the gym, they heard the unmistakable sound of a game being played, shoes squeaking on the floor, the thud of a basketball, and faint cheers. Yet, the gym was completely empty. Terrified but determined, they moved towards the sound, their flashlights flickering. Suddenly, the sound stopped, and the gym plunged into silence. Just as they were about to leave, they saw her, the misty figure of a woman in a blue dress, standing at the center of the gym. Her face was a blur, but her presence was cold and sorrowful. She raised her hand as if beckoning them closer. One of the students, in a trance-like state, began to walk towards her, but his friends pulled him back. They ran out of the gym, but the horror didn't end there. As they fled through the halls, they heard whispers and saw shadows moving along the walls. They ran out of the gym, but the horror didn't end there. As they fled through the halls, they heard whispers and saw shadows moving along the walls. When they finally burst out of the school, they vowed never to return. The next day, they reviewed their recordings. To their shock, they heard a faint voice on the tape saying, "Help me," over and over again. It was the same voice they had heard in the gym. They realized that the spirits haunting El Paso High School were not malevolent but trapped, seeking help to move on. Despite the school's beauty and historical significance, it remained a place of eerie encounters and ghostly apparitions. The legends of the haunted El Paso High School continued to grow, attracting thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from around the world. But those who dared to visit at night often left with chilling experiences and a deep sense of unease, forever haunted by the spirits of the Lady on the Hill.